What is environmental sociology? Environmental sociology is the study of the relationship between human societies and the natural environment. It explores how social structures, cultures, economies, and politics influence the environment and how environmental changes, in turn, affect people and communities. This field helps us understand that environmental problems are not only scientific or technical issues but also deeply social ones. The way we produce, consume, and live has a direct impact on the planet, and sociology helps us see the connections between human behavior and environmental consequences. For a long time, people thought of nature and society as two separate things. Nature was seen as something to be controlled or used for human benefit. However, environmental sociology argues that humans are a part of nature, not apart from it. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the soil that grows our food are all essential for survival. When we harm the environment, we ultimately harm ourselves. This understanding forms the core of environmental sociology. The Industrial Revolution marked a turning point in human history. It brought enormous technological progress and economic growth, but it also led to pollution, deforestation, and depletion of natural resources. Factories, cars, and cities transformed the natural landscape. While modern society depends on these developments, environmental sociologists ask critical questions. At what cost does this progress come? Who benefits from it, and who suffers the consequences? For example, while some countries and industries profit from industrialization, poor communities often bear the burden of toxic waste, water shortages, or climate disasters. Environmental sociology also studies how cultural beliefs shape people's attitudes toward nature. In some societies, nature is respected and treated as sacred, while in others, it is seen as a resource to be exploited. Consumer culture, for instance, encourages people to buy and use more products, leading to more waste and pollution. Sociologists examine how advertising, fashion, and social status drive overconsumption, which contributes to environmental problems such as climate change and ocean plastic pollution. Climate change is one of the biggest challenges facing humanity today. It is caused mainly by the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, which release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat and cause global temperatures to rise, leading to melting glaciers, rising sea levels, floods, droughts, and extreme weather. Environmental sociologists look beyond the science of climate change to understand its social dimensions. They study how governments, corporations, and citizens respond to it, and why some people deny it or fail to act despite knowing the risks. One important idea in environmental sociology is the concept of the environmental justice movement. It argues that environmental problems are not distributed equally. Poor and marginalized communities are more likely to live near polluted areas, unsafe factories, or landfills. For example, in many countries, the poorest people live near industrial zones where air and water are contaminated. They have fewer resources to move or protect themselves. Environmental justice activists demand fair treatment and equal protection for all communities, regardless of race, class, or location. Sociologists also study how social systems, especially capitalism, contribute to environmental destruction. Capitalism is based on constant economic growth and profit, which often means exploiting natural resources without limits. Companies may cut down forests, pollute rivers, or mine minerals excessively to keep production costs low. This system creates what some sociologists call the treadmill of production. It means that businesses and governments keep pushing for more production and consumption, even when it damages the environment. Breaking this cycle requires new economic models that value sustainability over profit. On the other hand, there are also hopeful trends. Many societies are beginning to recognize the importance of environmental protection. Green technologies, renewable energy sources like solar and wind power, and sustainable farming are becoming more common. Environmental sociologists study how these innovations spread and how people adopt new behaviors, such as recycling, energy conservation, or using public transport. They also examine the role of social movements, such as Fridays for Future and Extinction Rebellion, which are led by young activists demanding stronger climate action. Another important aspect of environmental sociology is studying how global inequalities shape environmental outcomes. Developed countries consume more energy and resources, but developing countries often face the worst effects of pollution and climate change. For instance, rising sea levels threaten island nations, while droughts and floods harm agriculture in poorer regions. Sociologists emphasize that global cooperation and fairness are essential for addressing these challenges. Rich nations have a moral responsibility to help poorer ones adapt to environmental changes, especially since they have contributed most to global pollution over time. The concept of sustainable development is central to environmental sociology. It means meeting the needs of the present without destroying the ability of future generations to meet theirs. This includes protecting biodiversity, reducing waste, and using renewable energy. However, sustainability is not just a technical matter, it also requires social and political change. Governments, businesses, and citizens must all take responsibility. Sociologists highlight that changing laws or technology alone is not enough. People must also change their values, habits, and priorities. Environmental sociology also explores how media and education shape public understanding of environmental issues. When media outlets highlight disasters like floods or wildfires, they can raise awareness but may also create fear. On the other hand, environmental education encourages people to adopt eco-friendly behaviors, such as conserving energy and reducing plastic use. Sociologists study how information and communication can inspire collective action. A related topic is how humans emotionally and spiritually connect to nature. Many people today live in urban environments, far from forests, rivers, or wildlife. This can lead to what some scholars call nature deficit. Environmental sociology encourages reconnection with the natural world through community gardens, green spaces, and environmental volunteering. This not only improves mental health but also builds a sense of responsibility toward the planet. In conclusion, environmental sociology teaches us that protecting the environment is not only a scientific or technical matter, it is also a social one. It requires changing systems of production, consumption, and power. It asks us to think about fairness, equality, and responsibility. The health of the planet depends on the decisions humans make collectively. Whether it is climate change, pollution, or deforestation, these issues can only be solved when people understand their social roots and work together across communities and nations. If you found this explanation helpful and want to learn more about how human societies and the environment are connected, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who care about the future of our planet. Your support encourages us to keep creating content that spreads awareness and inspires change toward a more sustainable world.